Hey everyone, today we are doing a recipe remake of America's Test Kitchen from Holland America Cruise Lines. We are going to make thick cut oven fries. We've tried the recipe a couple of times. It's consistently good. It's totally delicious. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so like I said, we are going to make some crispy fries today. What I didn't say is this is actually a recipe from Holland America, who we sailed on last September. They have live cooking demonstrations, and it's called America's Test Kitchen. And you can watch them make some interesting, complicated, and also some easy recipes that are great for you to take home and try on your friends. They have a YouTube channel as well, and this is where I found, well, a friend of mine forwarded the recipe to me for making the most amazing crispy French fries, homemade French fries, not deep fried. We're gonna bake them in the oven, and we're gonna try to recreate this. So let's have a go. First thing, and I'm not gonna get into the logistics of why you have to do it this way, but basically you need to start off by spraying the pan with cooking spray. And I believe that is because you want the oil, the olive oil, to stick a knot. You know, when you put it on a pan, it goes together like it bubbles, like water. And we're only going to use 3 tablespoons of oil to get the super crispy fries. So just kind of spread that out a bit. Oops, there we go. And then we're gonna give this a little shake and just really spread that out. So it's kind of tricky, but at the risk of not being perfect, I'm gonna call that good enough because this is a lot of shaking. So we're gonna put this aside. Okay, so this is the tricky part of the whole project, and this is what is gonna make it really crispy. It's totally bizarre. So what you wanna do is you wanna take about 3/4 of a cup of water and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So we'll pop that cornstarch into the jar, or into the mixing bowl as much as we can. And then we're gonna add the water and mix this up. And I am not even gonna try to tell you why this works. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a sort of a slurry, and then we're gonna microwave it. And once it reaches the consistency of a disgusting lard, then we have reached success. So we'll just mix this all up. Okay, so that's ready to go. So once you've mixed it, you can basically get rid of your fork because you're not going to need that. You're going to need a silicone spatula. And what we're going to do is we're going to microwave this on high for 20 seconds at a time. We did try this recipe before, and it took about 3 or 4 goes in the microwave, 3 or 4 rounds, before we got it to that disgusting sludge consistency. So basically high for 20 seconds, take it out, give it a stir, and see what it's like. So let's have a go at the first round. Okay, so this is the first round. And you can see it's still really watery, but we are getting a little bit of color to it. So we're gonna pop it back in for another 20 seconds. Okay, so this is round 2. So you can see it's kind of starting to activate, but it's still nowhere near the consistency that we need, because this isn't gonna do anything to the potatoes. It's just gonna coat them like milk, and that's not gonna help crisp up anything. All right, so again, you know, we've got a little bit more activity, but it's still not thickening. So it should just really be should just be one more go, and I think we'll be there. Right, so there we go. See, look at that. Well, all of a sudden we've started to get it to start to gel up and get a bit thicker, but it's still not quite enough. It's almost like the beginnings of when you're making gravy, that it just is getting to the point where it's getting close, but it's still not there. So It is going to be round 5 for the win. All right, so we're basically there. So as you can see, it's getting quite a bit thicker. So it's really got to a nice consistency. And as I say, you know, depending on your microwave, it might be a round less, it might be a round more, but that's basically what you're looking for. So now we've got our potatoes. I have already sliced these because everybody knows how to slice potatoes. With these, we're gonna put them down on the cookie sheet flat. So going with this style instead of little chips is a little bit easier because we're gonna flip them to make them crisp. And if you only have to flip them once, then all the better. So that's what we've gone with. And we're just gonna pour this over top. Now on the test kitchen, she recommends going in there and mixing it with your hands, but A, that's pretty gross because it's just really yucky, and B, it's quite hot, so if you don't want to burn yourself, just get in there with a spatula and give it a good mix so that everything is coated. Now we're going to go ahead and line them up on our tray. Okay, so the important thing here is obviously you want to leave some space in between the potatoes so that they've got room to crisp up on their own. We're going to cover this up with tin foil and we're going to put it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. Again, it'll depend on your oven. If it's convection oven, that cooks it a little bit faster. Also gas oven a little bit faster than your standard electric oven. All right, so we've had them in for exactly 10 minutes. We're gonna pull off the tin foil. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, and those have steamed up nicely. And we're not doing anything with them at this point. I'll show you. There's nothing really going on yet, but we're just gonna put them back in the oven for, this says between 10 and 18 minutes, so I'm gonna go about 12, and then we'll pull them out, give them another check, and flip them. We've had them in for 12 minutes now, so they are ready to be flipped. So let's see, this one I know, because the pan warped, so much for a $20 pan, crispy, crispy. So we'll flip these all. Okay, so these are going to go back in for about another 12 minutes, and then they are basically going to be ready to go. So we've just had them in for another 12 minutes, and they've really crisped up a lot. They smell amazing. They've got that fantastic French fry smell. Okay, so so these have all crisped up really well. While they're hot, you want to add some salt to them, since we didn't do any spices before. Okay. And let's do a little taste test. So I'm gonna grab one of these. Grab an end piece first, and that one got really crispy. So the consistency is that perfect crunch of the French fry. I mean, these things are solid. This one was a little bit more sitting in the oil. You can see that the pan kind of did sort of scoop it in. It sort of accumulated in a few places. So we were trying to avoid that, but you know, even if I try one of these other ones, it's not quite as crispy, but crispy on the outside and nice and light and fluffy on the inside. I think what I would do is I would have probably zapped that cornstarch mixture for just another 20 seconds to make it a little bit thicker, because that's what we did last time and it was a little bit more crispy. But these taste fantastic, and there is not going to be a single fry left behind. So I hope you enjoyed this America's Test Kitchen recipe remake. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.